Hey, how is everybody? Let me see how. Well, that's not working out as a. It's all like sideways. How does that work? Wrong way. Does that work? Shay's Journey, I haven't seen you in forever. Boom, look at you coming in there, crushing the like. Excellent. Having difficulty with my. I'm good. I'm just. Oh. I might have to go with that. Not how I wanted. I'll play along different later. All right, so my goal here, this is week 1. I am going to do Carter Club. So glad you made it. So I'm going to start doing it live every Tuesday from, I'm going to commit between 8 and 1 in the morning, my time. Mountain Standard Time. So I get off work at 6, get the kid to school by 7:15. Well, he rides the bus 7:15. If I have to take him, then it would be 8. But like I was tired today, so I went to sleep, which I've got to get more sleep than the 3.5 hours I got, or 4.5, 3.5. Anywho, really been thinking about this, and that's on Tuesdays. Hey, thank you. Is when I've got to start committing and just make it a regular and let the channel grow that way. So people can come in, start liking the content, just push it that way. Yeah. And so it's like in my description, I say the lens I see the world through is poetry is the lens I see the world through. So that being said, I had a whole bunch of videos to shoot. Did a banana breaks. I'll probably be the only one I edit and get out today. But then I got some found money that I found in the parking lot, and I hadn't found any money forever, so I wanted to make a video of it because it's been like a couple months since I found a coin in the parking lot. So, and there were one of them's a dime. It was shiny, and I just found some historical facts about the dime, so I wanted to share those in with it. And then I had a couple mail things I wanted, mail days. I wanted to, things I got in the mail that I want to make videos of. And I did shoot, after I did the banana breaks video, that I haven't released it. It's not, I got to edit it yet, but it's all shot. I shot the opening of this book, which is 15 Poets of the Aztec World by Miguel Leon Portela. There's a picture of him on the back. Anyways, these 15 poets he talks about, but like at the end of the chapter, he includes some poems of these Aztec poets. And I thought that is what we'll read today. And I got another book and some memorabilia cards that I'm gonna do some mail day openings. And then I went to an art gallery on Saturday and bought a Christmas ornament. Well, my wife bought it. We bought some marriage togetherness. So we bought it to go on the tree. And then they had a postcard that I actually got this at the gas station, and it tells the date, the time, and the place of the art gallery. Well, I picked it up that morning on my way home from work. And then it has a spot for an address here and a stamp. So if I'd have seen it earlier in the week, I'd have sent it to my buddy who I send postcards to. But I thought, doggone it, I'm sending it anyway because it's kind of cool. It's got a cool, I think he'll appreciate it. And then he went on vacation to Florida, I think. Maybe it was on his trip to Mexico. Anyway, he sent me this postcard. And it's pretty cool. I need to get an easel or some kind of frame. Put it in because it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, without further ado, I'm not going to make... These lives won't be super long. But this poem is 3 pages long. So, it's the song of the Aztec poet, which is, if you can see his name right there, it's super long and in Aztec. And you're on my phone. I guess I could. Beforehand, I should probably Google how to say their name. But it's, looks like to me, Tekateznen Chachin Anoko. Butchered that bad. I noticed I went from 3 people watching to 1 when I started to read that. I didn't mean to be offensive that I couldn't read the names. So, we are going to read that. I come to guard the mountain. Somewhere is its story, with flowers it painted. The giver of life, the community. You have been left in your home, you, Talakatzin, and Sapire, there you speak. I alone, I sing to him who is my God. In our place where the Lord's command, the flowering chocolate drink is foaming, the one which intoxicates men with its flowers. I yearn, my heart has tasted it. My heart has been Inebriated. It's not an, yeah, inebriated. My heart has been inebriated. My heart knows it. O red songbird of the supple neck, fresh and burning. Riza, how are you? So glad you made it. Riza is a faithful member of the channel. I should have a few more stickers that I did since the last live. Try to check that out, see if it worked. I'm still a work in progress on that. But she is a great supporter of the channel. Let's start back on the last two lines. Oh, red songbird of the supple neck, fresh and burning. You show your garland of flowers, you mother, sweet woman, precious flower of toasted Mayaz. You only lend yourself. You will be abandoned. You will have to go away. There will be a defleshing. You have come before the Lord's, you marvelous being, in an erect pose. Upon the mat of yellow and blue feathers, there you stand proudly, but precious flower of toasted Mayaz. You only lend yourself. Soon you must be abandoned. You will have to go away. There will be a defleshing. The flowering chocolate drink is foaming. The flower of tobacco is passed around. If my heart would taste them, my life would become inebriated. But here on the earth, you, O lords, O princes, if my heart would taste them, my life would become inebriated. I only suffer and say, may I not go to the place of the fleshless? My heart is a precious reality. I am only a singer, but golden flowers I carry. I have to abandon them. I only look at my house. The flowers remain there. Perhaps big jades, broad plumages are my price. Alone I must go. Sometime it will be alone I must go. I will perish. I abandon myself. O my God, giver of life, I say, let me go. My body will be a funerary bundle. I, a singer, let thus it be. Is anyone there who will become the owner of my heart? Alone I must go, my heart covered with flowers. Quetzal feathers, precious jades, so perfectly polished, will be destroyed. Nowhere on earth is their model. Thus let it be, but let it be without violence. Boom. "15 Poets of the Aztec World." Like it. Jovelyn Cordova, thank you for coming. Shay's Journey said she's still here. Carter Club had to go. Thanks for coming, though. I hope you watch the repeat. Oh no. Uh-oh. We got some major difficulties, folks. I'm just gonna have to hold it. They had something drop down there. Okay. That was it. Little teeny tiny bolt. Anyway, thanks for coming. Thanks, Riza. You try any of those stickers? See if they work. Hopefully they do. Try to take you out of this. There we go. Gonna hold up. Yay! Oh look, you got the unicorn one. That's my drawing of a unicorn there. Unicorns are amazing. That's my, the search is on for a unicorn. That's Shay's Journey. You're the best. Thank you. Yeah, go check that. It's on my YouTube Shorts. Thank you so much. It's only 6 seconds long, but it's actually a duet. I used the sound from one of my, thank you, from one of my early videos where I think I got it off Snapchat because I had a filter with ears and a unicorn. Maybe it didn't even have a unicorn. I just had the ears, and I said, unicorns are so awesome. They're just so amazing. But to a voice filter. And so then I just used that sound, just used that soundtrack to duet a new video. My wife, we had a CPR class that we had to go to, and it's in a town about 45 minutes east of us, and they have in their mall a place my wife likes to go get her a pedicure. And so about 2 months ago, she took me there, and because I said, I want to get one someday. I wonder if it'd help my, so I've had a bad big toe ever since I was like 20. I was playing some soccer, and me and the person on the other team went for the ball, and we went through the ball and hit our feet, and I ended up losing that toenail at that time. Like, it swelled up, and I finally, by that night, I got a hot needle, and we went through it and popped the blood blister because it was just so painful. But it ended up killing the nail, and so then the nail just fell off. Well, it's never grown back right. It just grows weird, and so then I'll pick at it, and it's frustrating. So we went and got those pedicures, and then we had to go do this CPR class, and I'm working nights, so I'm like, oh, that means I'm going to be lack of sleep when she's putting this agenda out. And I'm like, well, it's okay. We gotta go do it. It's the time we can go get it done. But then I was kind of, it's there, huh? Maybe we get a pedicure. Well, it didn't take too much convincing, so we went. So we're in front of the nail salon, and I do a duet with that sound. Unicorns are so awesome. They're just so magical. With me just kind of with the nail sign in the background, and not thinking anything of it. I mean, I had one fish video that boom went to 900, and I thought that's viral. This is so great. Well, and I was laughing at myself. What if one went to like 1 million? What would I do then? I'd be like, oh, I just don't believe it. I think I just talked about that. Did a live or something and talked about it. Yeah, I just done a live because I just gotten 45,000 this, or no, I talked about it later. Anywho, put this little short from the duet out, and nothing that night because I went to work and I had maybe 10, 15 views. And I went to work and I was so tired. I didn't check my phone at my breaks. Well, then I get to going home and it's just started having 100, 150, 200 every hour. And then I'm like, holy cow, it's almost to 1,000. So I put it in my 500 views or more playlist, and I'm like, Gracie, I'll be able to put this one in with the other two that I have that are over 1,000 on my playlist. So I'm all excited. Go to sleep because I'm exhausted. I wake up like 8 hours later. Look at it, and it's like nearly to 2,000, and I'm like, well, we passed that. So I put it in that playlist, and then it just, for the rest of that day and night, I think it finally started slowing down the next day, and it was just a trickle. And now it's once in a while it comes up, but because I can check the one that's in the hour, what videos are being viewed in real time in the analytics. Anybody can. It's the YouTube analytics. Anywho, I'm really excited about it. So I'll probably put a link in this live to that. Tell you to go check it out because it's so worth it. Again, Shay's Journey, thank you so much. Makes made my day. Trying to be more consistent and put out better content. Because I kind of got into the shorts, like the YouTube shorts, and was doing a whole bunch of them. And I'm like, some of these are, but I'm just kind of goofing around, having fun doing them, but need to put out some good shorts, you know. I mean, the one in front of the nail salon was funny, but anyway, I'm learning what stuff can do. I don't really care there. And so I looked how do you monetize a short, because they don't. Ooh, just about lost you. You can say they're monetized, but they don't. There's no advertisements ever on them. So I'm like, how do you do it? And the one short I did on Sunday, I did it as a premiere. I think Carter Club was there. She's left the live stream now. She had to go, but she was in it. But it's like a 6 or 7 second video, and it had a 1.5 minute like countdown up to it where we're like chatting. I'm like, oh, I'm getting had 4 or 5 people in here, and they're like, and I'm like, usually I don't get anybody. Well, and I shouldn't think that because Sundays usually pretty good. Weekends are pretty good if I just randomly do a live or a premiere. But this is my Tuesdays is going to be my live commitment. And that's even if I don't have time, I'll find a short poem. It's going to be poem a day series week. So I promise to have a poem, and then we'll just probably just chat. But totally. Anyway, so I did a premiere, and I think somebody donated a $1, and then it was like over. And I think it was Silver Scorpion, the coin channel. He's like, "Well, that was fast, to the point." Or he said, "Well, that was to the point." And then he commented down in the comments, "That was fast," or something like that. But I appreciate him stopping by. Anyway, so, and then I've noticed, like, it can be viewed as a short, but it also, like, it's acting weird as opposed to other shorts, and I created it as a short, but then I premiered it. So I don't think it's going to get into any kind of thing, or I don't know. I'm wondering if doing it as a premiere caused it. Webcam HD XYZ. What are you waiting for? You're hot. Yeah, so that's my goal. Every Tuesday, maybe I'll get my laptop figured out and do the live from that too. I think I could have some better controls, might learn a few things. Because I know I watched one channel where, Rizzy, you're on here. You still there? Where I can make it only members can comment for a time. And we do like a discussion. Everybody can be watching. Or we did, this was on a baseball channel, baseball cards. And he was auctioning, but then he had a series of cards that he only let those that were members be able to bid. He said, so you have to be a member of my channel in order to bid. And so he would turn off the comments of those of us that aren't a member of his channel. And so then you couldn't put in a bid. He'd have a timer and has 30 seconds, 45 seconds that you could bid on the card. Well, and then he'd have a lot that was just for his members, and they were nicer, more valuable cards, fines and stuff. So, and you're like, oh, I want to bid on that. But so, and not necessarily I want to do an auction or that, but I like okay, we're going to time this out. We want comments from, maybe we could play a game and it's, everybody can continue to watch, but only those that are members can. And I'm thinking he was doing it from a laptop, because I tried to find how to do it on my phones. You just have limited limited options, I would say. So anyway, yes, look for the video of me opening that. The package almost jumped up and bit me. Now, it was hard to open, but I'm excited to read about the Aztec poets. And I promise the next time I do a reading of one, I will have Googled how to say their name. And any other hard word that I need to know how to pronounce. So I love words and poems and stuff, but I'm no linguist. Love other languages. Love to listen to songs in other languages. I've known who Francois Hardy is for a long time. One of her songs was in a Wes Anderson movie. And I'd known who she was before, but that really got me looking tons into her. That was a couple years ago. And then I think I read something about her a week or so ago, and I've just been reading stuff and listening to her music. And I did a couple shorts of her, and I Googled how to say her name. She's got a C with a squiggly line underneath it, and that makes it a S. So Francois. Looks like, if you're reading it as an American, it looks like Francosi. But it's Francois Hardy. They said Hardy a little bit, like Hardy. I'd have to keep listening to it. Anyway, you can go watch those. I just looked her up on my tablet and had just Googled her, and I brought up all her pictures, and that's the short, is To the Sound. I do edit from the channel that pronunciates names. That's the channel name, pronunciates names. French names, I think, even. And so I just use that as a track, and it repeats it twice. And so that's the short. So, and then I did it twice because I'm like, I need some more pictures of her. Anyway, I do appreciate so much everybody coming in. And shout out to Shay's Journey. Go check her out. Let me see. You there, Shay? Anyway, I added a couple moderators. Riza, if you could drop Shay's link in the stream. Look at that. That might work. I never thought of doing that. Let me show you what I got here. Bought this on Amazon, so that's to hold your phone and to do videos. So I put it right here because I had it up in here, but it has to be a phone the long way. So, and I can't figure out how to start the live so that we're like this, because that turns, so when we're here, it makes I'm upside down. No, but here, cradled it is better. I just want a headshot. There's no need to see all that. I'm trying to work on it. Lose some weight and get skinnier. There's some of you guys that have videos out there that exercise. So. Right now I just need to work on getting my 10,000 steps in. Sometimes that's hard. Like last night, the loads that I loaded were just full pallets, so I wasn't up and down off the forklift. So that's kind of a bummer, but 'tis what 'tis. Just I guess we could read a poem for him. Marina Savenvia. I'll say her name too. Russian poet. I bought this some time ago. Daniel, I sat on the windowsill with my legs dangling. He then asked me quietly, "Who's there?" "It is I that came. And why? I do not know. My child, it is late, and you're not sleeping. I saw the moon up in the sky. I saw the moon. I saw its beam. I saw its beam. It pushed against your window, and perhaps that's why I'm here. Oh, tell me why they named you Daniel. I keep on dreaming of you mangled by the lions." Oh, Daniel in the lion's den. Oh, that's a ceiling fan. I'm like, what is that right there? Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Well, I've been working nights. I totally understand needing sleep. So I got about 3.5 hours of sleep. And then I was like, boom, awake. And I'm like, so many videos I want to make. And I want to start doing the lives on Tuesday. And so this is works out. I'm going to try and do them before. So I said anywhere between 8 and 1 on Tuesdays. Try and do it before I go to sleep. Get a live in. And then Holly! Yes! Well, now I got to read another poem now that you're here. You'll have to watch the replay. I was just saying how I'm going to make Tuesdays from 8, my time, from 8 to 1 in the morning, because I'm working nights, so I'll get home, if my kid takes the bus, I got to get him off by 7:15. If perchance I'm taking it, sometimes if he's had like a school project, I've driven him so his school project doesn't have to lug it on the bus. Like they had to do a presentation for in science for this cell, and him and his mom baked a cake with like candies and stuff representing what the cell looks like. Had all these weird candies and stuff. Anyway, she's really the creative one. Anyway, so I had to drive him at 8 to take that cake. So that's why I said anywhere between 8 and then I was going to say noon, but thought, knowing me, we better say 1. Give myself another hour on that end. Anyway, that's my commitment. It's a poem a day. I'm going to read at least a poem, and we chit-chat like this. And try to be with some consistency with it. I try to post pretty regular with some ideas and stuff, but make this more consistent. You know what it is. There's going to be a poem read. Like we read from this Russian poet, Marina Tveteeva. Yeah, I can't. And then we read a poem of one of the 15. The book's called 15 Poets of the Aztec World. It's kind of gives a little biography of them, and then has some of their poems by this professor. And he first wrote it in the book is old because let's see when it was copyrighted. Because in the introduction, he was saying that he published it first in Spanish in 1967. And then it was again published in Spanish. No, then it was published in 1980 in New York. So that was at least the published in this English version was at least published in my lifetime. Whew, barely. By 3 years. I was born in 1977. I know, especially if you ask my 11-year-old. Of course, not really. This might have changed. Before school started, he's in 4th grade. 5th grade. He's in 5th grade, sorry. Before he started this school year, he had this, and it's been for over a year, like, and there's like YouTube channels and game stuff that talks about my wife was born in 1972. Talks about the 80s and like the games and stuff. And so he's the Ready Player One. I don't know if you've seen that movie. It's looking back on the 80s with nostalgia and the the kids just enamored by all the video games and stuff and the music and all that stuff from the 80s. So I think that's part of it, but there's some other stuff, and he just has it in his mind that the 80s is so old. Like, we'll see a car from like the 40s go by, because I like to point out cool old cars. I like them, especially pickups. And so I'm, oh, buddy, look at that. Look at that car. Wow. Is that as old as the 80s? Yep. Not quite. That's hilarious. Yes, it's way older than the 80s. Anyway. So, anyway, I'm going to be consistent, read some poems. I don't know that it's going to be, the first live is going to be this, or the next lives will be this long. But we'll try to keep them short. I mean, well, I don't know. Hour's kind of my limit, because I do have to go back to bed and get some sleep, or I'll be exhausted tonight. But yeah, I appreciate you coming and hanging out. Holly, I appreciated your live the other day that you, well, it was under your channel, but you did, it was like you were the speaker, weren't you, on somebody's channel, kind of? But they were running on other platforms. It's kind of the way I took it, but you streamed it on your channel. So hopefully you got the watch time. Yeah. I was commenting away, and then I'm like, I don't know that you can see my comments, but you know, I was so excited to get to be there live. Right on. And then I was, yeah, and then she was reading comments from places, but by the time she was reading them, it was kind of, I felt like it was too late to try and rush in and find where I could comment, so, or I'd have been commenting. Yeah, it was cool. It was like a, you know, you go along sometimes and like, ooh, just feel like you're supposed to be somewhere. That's how it felt like. I was like, am I supposed to be on this? This is awesome. So it's yeah, it helps to, for me, like you have the topics that you do, like you do with the Jordan Peterson series and stuff. That to have a something you're doing, not just get on and, hi, I'm live. Let's party. So I can only do that so long. Let's party. Let's celebrate. I gotta have something we're gonna talk about, especially if you go and there's little in the comments. Well, this live's been great. Tons of things to respond to. Right. Well, I've taught some classes, like I've done some teaching and work, as a leader and stuff, and I like to do that. Prepare the topic and teach the skill or the principle or the new rule or whatever. Did that for a number of years in a previous job, and I liked doing that. I've done some. If I had more confidence in myself, I could see myself as a poetry professor. But I think I think it's more if I'd had more confidence in myself in my 20s, that's where I'd be. But I don't see it as a reality. It's not really a goal to waste my time on thinking about. I kind of have to keep myself grounded. I've found in the last 2.5 years of my life. Well, let us read one more poem from this Russian author, Marina Tvetvia. Butchering her name. It has no title. It was written on November 8th, 1916. Isn't today the 8th? Or is it the 9th? Oh, it's the 9th. Well, close enough. I cannot wait for Saturday these days. It seems the bells will ring and you will enter. The Virgin will admire you from the case. How handsome you are and how slender. And every night I see a vision. There's a stone on top of me, much like a hand. It lies upon my heart, and I won't rise up on my own until you bid me, child, arise. That's a good one. Well, I appreciate everybody coming. Unicorns. Thank you. Those are my unicorns that I drew. Love it. Is it just the 2, Riza? Or do I have 4? Said I can only make 4 until I have more. Yes. Did you watch that? So I have one short. Were you in on the conversation when Holly on that? So most of my videos I've only done, a couple hundred. I've had one but those 2 I had forever. Like when I started the channel was mostly just to watch. You had to set up a channel and like, how do you make a video? And I made one of my hat and did Detroit Tigers. And the only reason it's at 1,400 is because I sent it to everybody and it was there first for like 4 or 5 years now. Anyway, and I started doing the shorts a couple weeks ago, and I did one to we went to a restaurant in Boise, and we've been before at Barbacoa, I think it's called, and it's a good restaurant, but it has the big fish tank. I was your first subscriber? You subscribed to me first? Or I was the first subscriber of yours? And you were my first. Oh, sweet. That's cool. Yeah, so we went to dinner, not this last Saturday, but the Saturday before, after my wife got off work, and she doesn't like to be filmed, so I have like her arm in it, but I took a picture of the menu, and it was a 45-minute wait, so we walked in some shops. There was a bath one that had bath bombs, and they had one that was unicorn horns in a bath bomb. So I took a little video of that, and then I made a video of our date with us not in it. Anyway, I did write a poem about that. I should have read the poem in it. Anyway, the fish one, and I just did a short of the fish with some YouTube appropriate music, and it sat there, and then it just like shot up and was like almost to 800, and between 7 and 800. I'm like, oh my gosh, this could go to 1,000. Then I'd have 3 videos in my playlist that are 1,000 viewed videos. And it automatically went into the video that was over 500, which there's not a ton of those either. So I was like, wow. And then we went and had to go do a CPR class this last Wednesday, and what was I saying? We had to do the CPR class, and I'm working nights, so I'm like, oh, that's make me tired. So I was kind of trying to. My wife would take us to get pedicures like 2 months ago, and really was relaxing. And I got a bad toe that told the whole story earlier in the live. Anyway, she's never grown right since I lost it when I was 20. I was playing soccer and kicked both went for the ball and the other kid, and we collided, and it got a blood blister underneath the nail. Got a hot needle and popped it, but it was too late by then, and I lost the nail, and it's just never grown back right. And I never know right how to cut it, because the one end tries to go way that way. And so we went, and it has just felt so much better and looked better. I mean, it still looks hideous, but not as hideous. So I'm like, we should go. It's about time that I get a pedicure again. Help that nail out. And it really didn't take her much convincing to get her feet done again. So we went again. So we're waiting to go in, and I'm looking at stuff on YouTube. I'm like, oh, I should duet my unicorn one from way back. Just use the sound on it. And so I used the sound on it with me and the nail salon in the background. And so did that. I mean, it got a couple of views, blah, blah. We went and did the CPR class. And then we drove home, had like 2 hours of sleep, went to work exhausted, made it through the night, came home, and I'm looking at the analytics, and boom, it's like 700. I'm looking through the night. It had done like 100 this hour. Just, it was like just growing. I'm like, oh my goodness. Well, that's pretty soon I'll be able to put it in with the 1,000 hours. I was hoping that fish one would do it, and I think it keeps getting a few, so it might do it eventually. It's at 900 and something. But that video just kept going for like the next day and a half, and then fizzled out. And I think it's just like one every once in a while. So, but it topped off at 3,000 something. I was just like, 3,000. So excited. I'm like, it's gone viral. Not really. I know it hasn't, but it feels like it when you have like no, they just don't come that easy. Anyway, make sure everybody liking the stream. We got 8 likes. 2 more. 2 more and we'll have 10 likes. That'd be awesome. Anyway, I'm really thinking this being consistent on Tuesday is going to help. Build an audience. And you don't have to catch every Tuesday live, but if you can catch it every once in a while, that's good. Or, catch the replay, that's fine too. But, and again, shout out to Shay's Journey for the $3 super chat. I appreciate it. No, I like doing these little, like been doing the shorts, and it's fun, but there's not really any consistency. I'm just kind of playing around at the moment. I gotta have something that's consistent. And I've been wanting to do this format, this live, and open up do a reading and make it live so that it can read it. Then if there's a chance if I have people and we're I'm getting asked questions and we're responding, that's good. And I had a bunch to talk about today, but if I don't have a bunch to talk about and I read the poem and it's a 5-minute live, I'm fine with that. It's still consistent. I'm calling it a poem a day series, and I call it week 1. And we'll just do week 2, and then hopefully in a couple of years, it's week, 300 and something. That's just what I think I'll do that, because I like that. All right, I'm going to sign off. Try to get some more sleep. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Remember, like, subscribe, share us out, play a playlist. Bunch of those shorts I put in the playlist for unicorns, bits, motivational. You too. Is it snowed up there? Do you have snow up in Canada? Or do you not get as much snow on your end? We've had a lot of rain the last couple of weeks, but it's cold rain. I'm worried that I'm not going to get in very much snow where we've moved here. It's a lower elevation, tad souther, but we're more west, 3.5 hours west in the state, slightly south, maybe 20 miles if you put it on the longitude. But it's almost 2,000 feet lower in elevation. So that's quite a bit. All right, everyone have a good day. I'm seriously gotta go. Yeah, there's lots in the mountains. Yeah, I was gonna just say that. Though you can't really, you gotta drive out of town and up a few hills to see it, but you don't see the mountains in the distance from right in town where we're at. Have a good day. How do I stop? How do I stop a live? I've forgotten. Haven't done a live forever. No, there we go. I figured it out.